Austino, my brother. What's going on, man?
Just ready for episode 17.
Take two of the Ron and Austino's podcast.
Take two.
You're probably wondering why it's probably called Take Two. Y'all haven't seen us last week.
Because take one was that bad.
Yeah, Listen. Even after 17 weeks, we can, still get in our own heads, get in our own ways and stuff like that, and then that's what happens, man. You can still put out as much as you feel like you can prep yourself mentally. Sometimes random things can just go off and just throw your whole game off. And that's kind of pretty much what just happened, And so it's through our whole game. Wait a minute.
I know it's sparkling, my bad.
Oh, I was like, wait a minute.
I didn't know, now I have to know.
Oh, snap.
When it has the blue bar, now I know, my bad.
I was just about to say.
I did not mean to grab the sparkling water, but it is what it is.
I was sitting there, I was like, man,
We're here now.
Shake this shit up or some stupid shit like last week.
I was trying to get it cold because I got it at 6 o'clock and I'm trying to keep it close to the refrigerator, the coldest part.
This one isn't half bad though. They're all good, but this one isn't as carbonated though.
Okay.
Am I tripping?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, so aside from us having it didn't show up last week, but how was the week after that? Well, how was last week?
Well, last week was good. I got some. I did some good side jobs. The weekend before payday, which is yesterday. Mm-hmm. Still on the fence with the company, and right when they're trying to keep me there, they gave me the bonus, another bonus, but we'll see. I'm gonna take a trip up north to my hometown and give me some time to think about what I want to do.
Remember that one commercial where they got the one dude dangling the dollar at the people down, and then they grab it and he's like, you thought you gotcha.
Yeah.
That's how you feeling.
And then the last 2 weeks is wild, man. Like I sold an $18,000 repipe.
Big money.
And then today I sold a. Have you ever sold one of those? The fiberglass shower inserts.
In shower inserts?
Yes.
No.
Oh, instead of you putting the shower liner and then doing the tile, you just throw it on and over the old tile, so you don't have to worry about the demoing.
I ain't done
it.
I ain't never did it.
I used to do the install. It's been a very long time since I installed one of those, but I did it in Arizona.
So you installed it too?
I've done it. No, I said I've done it before.
Okay.
But I sold one today.
Okay.
$5,000, but
big money.
Yeah.
But you see, $5,000.
Actually, it was a good day. I actually had some cool customers today. I worked today for a friend, so I could have my weekends. So now I'm gonna have the next 2 weekends off in a row, and I took 7 days off work, and let's just say the plan is in motion. I'm playing chess moves with the plumbing company. So, Phantom's going to be hanging out with my brother, and he's going to be up in Virginia, and I'm just going to take up a notch and work some more hours and bring him Phantom back.
Okay. Speaking of brother, how did everything go?
We haven't talked.
Well,
but
about your mom, that talk.
Oh yeah, everything's cool with my mom.
Okay.
We both not gonna say sorry. It is what it is. But she's cool. My mom's watching the podcast. She was all proud of me. She was like, Austin. You know how you text somebody but you text the wrong person. Yeah. So she's talking to my aunt or whatever. She's like, Austin did 16,000 views, and then I was just playing around. I was like, Mom, they see me at the dispensary. They're like, that's Austino. And then she's like, really? And then I just no. I'm like, but that's one of these days, Hey. For all the listeners,
eventually they'll know me by Mr.
We don't have any official sponsors. We sponsor ourselves. And we always want the best for both of us. We both want to win. But look, we're not gonna have those corny ass commercials. We're not gonna have those farmer dog commercials. Right now, this is uncut, and this is the very beginning. So
exactly,
if you could just help us get back in that 100 views, and then the goal is to get 200 view video, and then the rest is history.
Which should happen. It'll happen. We just like we said, man. We just always gotta keep consistent, keep going. Just like we saw Fernando just a few minutes ago. On the other shop. He was just
good
up there, like, oh yeah, damn, y'all back at it. Yep, we still back at it.
Yeah,
but yeah, my week was mine was like a roller coaster too.
Yeah,
it was a little bit early in the week. It was like damn.
Yeah.
But then towards like that,
I think we did talk on Tuesday. I was like, yo, were you busy? And I was like, no, I didn't even get a haircut. I was like, I only worked 2 hours on Monday. Yeah. And I was like, is this the beginning to the end?
Yeah.
Like, is this the Great Depression 2 coming in the works? But,
I refuse to believe. I refuse to go believe that. Hell no, I will find some way to cut some hair and you know what I mean. I ain't never had. It was only had like maybe 1 or 2 slower like no days. I've never had like a real like week where it's like, yo, I just can't cut nobody every day or something like that. Then that's when I'm like, all right, maybe we gotta figure something out, figure something else out. But now, I mean, had a real slow day, I think Monday or Sunday, one of them two. And then obviously Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm off, and then it started to pick back up once I get back.
Nice.
And once I got back Thursday, and last few days has been real good.
I mean, your job is very similar to sales. I mean, it is sales. Yeah, you're really like a subcontractor when you really think about it. And you're kind of like your own boss, and you can beat your own drum, and you can. I mean, the world is yours.
Yeah, I did sit there and think about that in a sense too. I was like, essentially,
especially you're trying to sell repeat customers. Yeah, at least you want to sell you want to make sure you're vibing with the customer and stuff like that. And that goes with plumbing too. Yeah, because no one's gonna buy plumbing unless they're like super desperate. Unless you come to the house at like 2 a.m. and like, just not vibing with this guy, but this is what I got. But if a customer has options and they're not vibing with you, they'll pay that dispatch fee, or they'll try to avoid that dispatch fee, or they'll try to throw you under the bus. Which happens too, but
yeah, of course.
I've actually been vibing with the customers the past 2 weeks, so I haven't had any terrorist customers. So
I've had some real dope. Customers too. Matter of fact, I had a dope set of customers that came in with their son today. It was a
locals.
Well, I mean, I guess they locals now, but they was from Jersey.
They live in Florida.
Yeah, they live. They stay here.
Jersey people coming to Kissimmee?
Dog, man, hell, most of the shop is from Jersey.
Oh yeah?
Hell yeah! Like me, the other owner, Ruben, Buddha.
But everybody's close to New York City. That's the part of New Jersey they're from.
To be honest, I'm not exactly sure what part. Buddha, yeah, he's literally across. He can throw a rock in.
Like Holland Tunnel.
Yeah, he's over
Hillside, New Jersey, Woodbridge, New Jersey.
Yeah, he's from Jersey City.
Okay.
And so you can throw a rock and hit damn New York. But so he's from Jersey City. I'm not exactly sure what part Ruben's from. Fernando, he's from New York.
New York City?
Yeah, like I think Staten Island.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I'm not exactly too sure.
Which one's Ruben?
You know, I don't believe you've seen him. He always comes early in the morning. And you normally, you're not here whenever I cut you then. But so yeah, it's like 4 of us from up north, right there.
Nice.
You know what I mean? But yeah, so yeah, I met them nice, lovely people, and it was a lady, her mother, and her son, and they just moved down here, like I said, from Jersey, and it was like they was messing with my vibes and everything, matching my energy. I was like, all right, what's up, y'all?
Do you give your number out?
Yeah, I'll get my card out.
Yeah,
my card got my number, everything.
Number, yeah.
Yeah, my card got my.
Because some people get funny about leaving their personal number. I don't care.
Nah, but see, that's why I got a work phone. I got a straight up work phone. When I give you that card, it goes to my work number. So I know anytime that phone rings.
Do you have your work number on your same phone? Do you have the same, you can have 2 phone lines on one phone?
Yeah, that's what I got. Okay. Yeah, I got two numbers.
Yeah.
2 different numbers. Matter of fact, I don't even know the other number by heart. But yeah, my
So the
card,
number I call you on is your personal.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my personal one. I mean, technically they both my personal one, but I know when that other phone ring, that's money.
Yeah.
So
you got a
whenever I
different
get a text
ringtone?
on that one, no, it's just a whole nother phone. Like, so a whole nother phone. When that phone ring, that's money calling me.
Nice.
So that's when I pick that. Like, oh, let's do it. You know what I mean? And then, but yeah, Father's Day tomorrow too. So I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen with that tomorrow. But I mean, matter of fact, when this comes out, it's gonna be Father's Day. So shout outs to all the fathers out there, real fathers out there that's handling their business. You know what I mean? That's in their kids' lives and everything, and the ones that actually want to be in their kids' lives, and you know, other parties are just making it a little bit harder for it to be that way. But you know, shout out to all of y'all, respect to all of y'all, and keep doing y'all thing. So big ups to y'all and everything too. But yeah, so yeah, we're gonna have a good one, man. I don't know if anybody's seen, well, I mean, there's a bunch of people that's seen it, but so we kind of gonna get into the Michael Jackson, Who Really Killed Michael Jackson TMZ special. That was a big thing for us this week.
Yeah.
That we kind of, and I mean, we kind of went down a rabbit hole even after the whole whatchamacallit too. So,
I mean, I've said that before.
So what?
I've said it before. Like it's a, you know, it's almost a self-destruction behavior when you surround yourself by yes people.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, I'll just start off with Michael Jackson from like what I've seen, you know, from the 80s, 90s, 2000s, and early 2010s. Right? He died in like 2009. 9?
Yeah.
So 2009. Mm-hmm. So just people were just enabling his addictions, you know, to the plastic surgery, and people just didn't say no to him. And unfortunately, that doctor that gave him that was just the hay that broke the camel's back. So it's very unfortunate that doctor, I don't think he had any ill will or malice towards Michael Jackson, or he was trying to work an angle, or this was like some type of, I think it was just like if I gave you a beer and then that was the beer that just put you out.
Yeah, all right, when you said that way, because I was sitting there thinking, I don't believe he had any ill will. Dr. Conrad Murray did neither, and had thought
he tried to get him off of it.
Be the thing. I didn't think that neither. But then I also thought, I'm like, don't you do like a not a background check, but like, yeah, essentially like a questionnaire, and guess what? If they lie, all right, cool. But if you're getting ready to prescribe these people a bunch of the stuff that he was, you know.
And he was using anesthesia to go to sleep.
Basically anesthesia and stuff like that. There ain't no there is a questionnaire, but then again, at the same time, you just, you tell them what's on it. If you want to say, no, I never had this substance, or took this medication or whatever in the last 6 months or whatever, blah, then you ain't got to say that. And you know, it is what it is. And that's why they also got, you sign this saying that this is true and we're not held responsible. So I mean, I guess in a sense that's, you know, it is what it is.
Maybe we should go back to like the 80s to the Pepsi accident, and then work our way from the 80s to 90s to now.
Yeah. We can do that.
Do a little rewind, so people that don't really know, like, I mean, you are the Michael Jackson expert.
I mean,
I was impressed with all the stuff that you found. I was like,
I mean, that was a rabbit hole of like a couple of hours and stuff, like down to at least the Sony deals and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, essentially, a lot of the,
Well, we could start when he was a little baby in Indiana, and
Gary, Indiana,
and he, Jackson 5. He grew up in the entertainment industry with a really strict father.
Joe.
They would do rehearsals, and if they didn't do the rehearsals up to his standards, they would get the belt. He had a very complicated relationship with his father. So
they all did.
Yeah,
they all did. Respect. But and you know what? Now that got me.
Do you think he was chemically castrated? Oh, Michael Jackson said, "You ain't gonna let me know."
Mike said, "Y'all ain't gonna talk that stuff on me. You never heard my deep voice."
Another compressor break.
Yeah, I mean, what's that? 4 or 5 weeks, something like that, maybe. I don't know.
But we found the source of the issue, so we'll bring it up to the owners.
We're gonna bring that up because man, I'm tired of it. I ain't gonna lie, I am tired of all these damn compressor breaks and stuff, man. But it's always funny at the time.
I was gonna go back. There's a big rumor that his father chemically castrated him, and that's why he was able to hit those high notes.
Well, even when we was talking during the chemical break.
Not the chemical break.
the damn
chemical castration.
During the what's the air compressor break? Compressor break. Jesus. During a compressor break.
We could edit this out.
No,
you let it rock.
Keep that. We can let that rock. But they got dudes with deep voices. It's basically called a falsetto. You know, you can get that. You know, even if you got a deep voice, but yeah, no.
Who's the one with the deep voice? The R&B singer, Luther Vandross.
Luther Vandross?
Yeah. Didn't he have the deep voice, like in the?
No, Barry White. Barry White.
In the 90s.
You're talking about Barry White.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you could be talking about Luther Vandross. He had a deep voice too, but he was a little bit higher octave singing than than Barry White. No, yeah, Barry White. Barry White had that. He had that soulful, just that. Yeah, you know, do. Yeah. But that man could sing. But it was just Mike that was his falsetto voice. Cause I actually seen clips where people said, "Yo, don't let Mike's little high pitched voice." Chris Tucker done said this shit all the time too. Mike, he turned gangster. He used to joke. He used to say, "Yo, Mike turned gangster. That deep voice come on out."
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily believe that. I done heard it too and anything. You know, but everybody want to blame Joe for something.
Yeah.
Joe messing up the kids and stuff, because they all got issues because they all got some type of issue because of Joe, and it looked like. So yeah, but for as far as that, I necessarily don't believe that.
So basically, with the whole drugs was basically, if people don't know the whole Michael Jackson, he was filming a Pepsi commercial, Super Bowl commercial. Was it a Super Bowl?
It might have been a Super Bowl.
I think it was a Super Bowl commercial. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pepsi Super.
It was the Pepsi
so basically,
which makes sense.
Oddly enough, it's a small world. So my neighbor, you know, he's a cool cat. He was a old school roadie. Like he set up. He used to work with Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake. And like, you know, setting up the concert venues and the pyrotechnics. He knew the guy that worked on the pyrotechnics on the night that, and then like the inside scoop was that like you got Michael Jackson hooked on drugs, and they would say that to him, and you know.
Right.
But you saw they made him do that take like 5 times.
They made him do it 6 times.
6 times.
They made him do it 6 times. And I mean, like, yeah, they got all types of safety and stuff, but if them fireworks
with the Jerry curl oil,
and I would have been nervous. Me being Mike, you know, y'all got them fireworks popping off.
And then you saw the clip where they took his. It was like a yarmulke size. It was like this, like it was a bald spot.
His hair went like that.
Yeah.
Just like that, cause that's just what black people were wearing back in the day. Jerry curl, that's what you call Jerry curl juices, and that, you know what I mean. And that thing went whoosh, just like that. And like you said, it was a big old bald spot right there, and they had 3rd-degree burns right there. So ain't no more hair growing.
Yeah, hair's not gonna grow. The scalp is gone. So he had to wear wigs until that point on.
Yeah, he was wearing wigs and lace fronts and stuff.
I think that's when he started getting more self-conscious about his looks, because and then he started tweaking things, and this is the problem with plastic surgery. It's never going to be good enough.
I was about to say that was '84. He was still, I think, yeah, because that's when he, like you said, that is pretty much when they started. He went real heavy into the plastic surgery and doing his nose and his chin and stuff like that. Because '84 was off the wall. I think Thriller came out in '87. He was still looking like back in '84 a little bit. Yeah. You could tell he got a little bit done. But then from Thriller to Bad, he looked like a completely different person.
And he was the first black artist to be on not BET, obviously, right? MTV. MTV. He was the first black artist to be filmed on,
of course.
To do a music video for,
So that's where, hell yeah. That's where the Billie Jean, on the Billie Jean stage when he debuted the Moonwalk. But yeah, no, so.
Ron claims he can do it. No, I'm joking. We were talking about that before.
Have I tried? Hell, of course. 36 years old. Yes, I have tried plenty of times and still have not.
I like the only one that could really do it is Chris Brown.
Oh, Usher can.
Oh, he can?
Usher, hell yeah. But there's a whole bunch of dancers out there that can do it. But Chris and Usher, they be smooth with it.
Yeah.
I mean, those are the real only ones that I really know. I know Nia can probably bring
that could do it justice. A
million new little TikTokity dancers that can put their own little spin to it. But I still don't think none of them want to see Mike in his prime. None of them want to see Mike in his prime. You know what I mean? Mike in his prime was a bad man, dog. Them dance moves.
Chris Tucker can dance too.
Yeah, you see Chris up on the BET stage. He was dancing just like Mike. Shoot.
And they were really good friends.
Yeah.
He was actually in his first music video when he did The Independent, when he went to Independent. Because I remember that first.
Oh, you talking about, You Rock My World.
Yeah, You Rock My World.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite songs. I got a video for that on my social media page and stuff. But
so then the 90s comes around. He gets a little lighter.
Yeah.
And the nose gets a little straighter. So what was your opinion on the plastic surgeries?
I mean,
I don't think he ever had vitiligo. I don't think he ever had vitiligo. Because vitiligo, you would have had patches. Before the bleaching, like I could understand that. Just like when Sammy Sosa tried to pull I got vitiligo. No, you don't.
But to be honest, also too, before, I don't really think I ever seen Mike like wear shorts or like the short sleeve and stuff like that. Every time I've ever seen Mike, he was covered up.
Yeah, but you know that it comes in patches.
I do. I know that. That
model,
they come patches all over the place. I've seen models and things like that, and I 1,000% agree. I don't know. I just don't. At that point, I really didn't even care. Because couldn't nobody tell me about it.
Even as a kid, I realized I knew he did something. I knew he was doing something to his skin.
Back when I was a kid, I was probably like 3, 4. So I'm sitting there thinking, I'm looking at him, and when I realized Mike was who he was, I'm 6 years old. So this is bad and dangerous Mike back in '97 and stuff. So I'm looking at him.
I'm talking about earlier than that.
But but this is my first image of him that I can remember. And
you
then
don't remember the video, the music video?
And then my father, he starts bringing me backwards and shows me like, this is Michael Jackson. When he was little, he was like your age and stuff. And I'm like, no, it ain't. That's a black boy.
Yeah.
Like they all black. They got hair and stuff like that.
And his brothers used to make fun of his nose.
I know they ain't talking.
Yeah.
That's all I know. I know they ain't talking. But so I was like, no, that's a black boy. Mike looked like a white woman. At 6 years old, that Mike, he looked like a white woman back in that day. That's just what it is, But so until my pops really told me, and then that's when the tabloids.
How did he explain it?
How did vitiligo. My pops said vitiligo, and I always said.
Did your dad truly believe that, or?
I don't know. Back then, what they told us is what was real. It was vitiligo. That's
a
all
lot
I thought.
easier. It was a lot easier back in the
Vitiligo.
90s to convince people. Like, you couldn't pull that nowadays.
No.
The plastic surgeon would have snitched on you already. He would have been like, I did it.
Yeah, even for me, I didn't really care. I just always stuck with vitiligo. So I never really, I was like, oh, okay, well, Mike bleached his skin because of vitiligo. Now, was it probably that? I don't think so.
Did you see when he was on the court case and the nose was falling apart?
Oh yeah. Jeez.
It didn't have any cartilage.
You know, I feel for Mike because he did go through some stuff, man. You know, he was a real timid, self-conscious brother and stuff like that. You can obviously see that, you know. But to be that self-conscious where you want to just destroy your face, your natural face that God gave you, and you know, but a lot of it also, he was saying that he didn't want to look like his father too. And if you think about it, Mike do look just like his father.
Yeah.
He looked just like,
out of all the brothers.
I sat there and looked at him and I was like, damn, he do look like his pops. And that was one thing he said he never wanted to look like. So, I mean, things like that. And that's that self-conscious creeping in your head. Like, when you don't want to look like a person that birthed you and stuff like that, you know, things like that, and then you look at yourself and you see a big nose or something like that, or you see big lips and chin is a certain kind of way. Like, not saying it's body dysmorphia, but it's a form of dysmorphia.
It's a form of it.
It's a form of dysmorphia because you don't want to see that and you want to change it. And
it was just bizarre when he did the video or the song, it doesn't matter if you're black or white. And then he's like full out bleached skin, his hair's relaxed, he's got the straight nose, and it was just very bizarre. Like, that's why, like, even then I was just like, hey Mike, if it doesn't matter in black and white, why did you change your skin? Like, but the one thing I do like about Mike is he brought everybody together, whether you were, everybody from the whole world, different backgrounds, whether you were Jewish, Muslim, whether you were Christian, Catholic, whether you were from South Central LA or New York City or from Baltimore, like everybody, like as far as like, he's a generation, once in a lifetime artist and entertainer, but it's just very complicated, and just I wish he didn't do all that stuff to himself.
Yeah,
and
I wish he was a little bit more self-loving of himself, to where he can look in the mirror and been like
the Man in the Mirror, his song.
There you go. Yeah,
I mean, he definitely, like, I listened to some of his music today at the gym. The Free Willy song, Will You Be There? Like, that gets me pumped up. There's a lot of songs that he does that get me pumped up. And if he just would have practiced what he sung about, he would have been good.
Every once in a while, I just go down and binge all Mike's stuff. You know, back in the just all of them, from Dangerous to Beat It to Bad to the Bad.
Oh, they don't care about us.
Yeah, to all of them albums, to all of them songs, all of them songs. And I just be like, damn, man, I wish Mike was still around.
Yeah.
I wish he was still around and stuff like that. Because
I would have paid.
I'm one of them.
I paid $500 for a ticket to see Mike.
Oh, I would pay good damn money to pay.
I think $1,000 would be my limit.
Listen,
I'd be like, all right, Mike.
Yeah, I don't know how much the Beyonce tickets cost, but
hologram. I think they were doing like some hologram.
Yeah, they did try to do like that hologram, but that's them.
Scary though, right?
Yeah, and
remember when Snoop Dogg saw Tupac for the first time when they first did the hologram?
Oh,
and he just looked at it. He was like,
"Oh."
You don't remember that? Like 10, 15 years ago?
I remember something like that, but
I'll send you a video of it.
Yeah.
It was like when they first started doing the hologram. He was like, Tupac was like the first like hologram live.
Something like they did like.
And then Snoop Dogg was performing.
What was he doing?
What was the song with America's Most Wanted? Mm-hmm. Is that what the song was called?
Yeah. Two of America's Most Wanted.
Yeah.
So he was doing that with the hologram.
And then he saw it was like he saw a ghost, because you see him on there. He's just like. Oh. Yeah.
See, I always saw like a couple of second clip of that. So I didn't know that was.
Yeah, it
Snoop
caught him
Dogg,
off guard. It caught him off guard.
Okay. But yeah, and I was never one of them ones to believe that Mike touched them kids. Because.
But is it fair to say he did like some inappropriate behavior?
Now, would I let Mike?
Now, like, let me say this.
Babysit my kids? No.
Okay, that's what I was getting at.
No.
That's what I was getting at. Hey,
No.
yeah. I was like,
Nah, Mike.
yo, we're cool. Hey, Ron and I, we're cool. But I'm not taking your kid to a camp. Like, I'm not taking him to a camp.
I'm gonna be there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be there. We're gonna have fun together.
Yeah.
Everybody gonna have fun together. We'll all leave together. That's how I would deem it at Mike's.
There was this black comedian. He said a funny joke. He said, "You notice he never got any black kids over there. It was always white kids."
Yeah. Like I said, we go there, we have fun together, but then at the end of the day, we leave.
Yeah.
We're all leaving.
No.
All my peoples is leaving. My babies, we're all leaving.
No sleepovers at Neverland.
No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Not just y'all. Because them other motherfuckers, the first dad back in '93, he was an extortionist. He was a fucking dentist that tried to extort Mike. And that's why Mike had to fucking cancel the whole Dangerous tour. Or not Dangerous
He's probably
tour,
stressed out.
Yeah, he was stressing. And now this is getting to where the heavy drugs start to happen. This is where the drugs really start to...
self-sabotage, we can say. It's
because
a form of
now
self-sabotage.
He's sitting there trying to do a concert.
I saw that video where he just passes out and they have to lift him up. Yeah.
He's sitting there trying to do and like you said, sitting there trying to do a concert, this man passing the fuck out in '93 because obviously he's doing a concert, all these tour dates and shit like that. And he's thinking about this shit, so mentally and physically he's going through it. Financially he's going through it too because he had to pay their asses off. And at the end of the day, he paid them off. And people obviously, because as soon as you pay somebody off, you settle out of court. You settle out of court, you guilty. You paid them off because you're guilty.
I think that law, there should be some type of where that's like a form of extortion. It's either,
because the same father, he came back in 2005.
Yeah.
The son, the little boy that actually said that Mike touched him back in '93 and stuff, his ass had dipped by the 2005 trial. His ass had dipped overseas. Yeah. Because he realized he was going to get subpoenaed to go into court.
How about
But the father came back and I'll be damned.
How about when Michael Jackson died, the choreographer for that grew up with Michael Jackson as a kid, and then he used to teach like Backstreet Boys or NSYNC, and then after Mike died, he wanted to do an HBO saying that he got molested and raped and saying like the most vulgar stuff, like. Yeah, like I
remember that too.
Yeah,
I remember that too. And that motherfucker was, that dude, he was lying.
Yeah,
because they recanted all that stuff.
The cash crab.
A couple, like a few months later, they shut that down. They were like, nah, this ain't what happened. Y'all know what happened. This is what happened. Leave, man, stop. You're gonna do that as soon as he I think that one came out in like 2019 or something. On HBO.
Yeah.
And shame on HBO for even trying to put that shit out there like that.
Well, drama sells. They don't care.
Yeah, of course, they don't care. But it's like shame on them.
Yeah, shame on them. But
I'm sure Mike did some concerts and shit for them.
That's predictable behavior from them. So, yeah. But, so then the 90s, he kind of, and then... I guess he was in a backwards deal with, can you explain that to me? Like the Sony deal that he had?
So in 95, he formed his company, him and Sony, they formed a mutual agreement together, a mutual company together. So he owned, pretty much he bought all the rights to, the Beatles. The Beatles, and he took a 50% stake in.
Actually, was Sony. It the Beatles or was it John Lennon?
The Beatles.
But who's the singer, the lead singer?
John Lennon. God, I feel like yeah. All right, we're gonna have to do something about that. We back to our regularly scheduled program.
Now we're getting 2 compressor breaks in one episode.
Yeah, 2 compressor breaks. That's a no. Sorry for all that. I had to unplug it.
Yeah.
So there ain't gonna be no more.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Jesus, man. Every 20 minutes? No, we got an hour show.
Yeah.
Where was we at? So yeah, he got
the publishing rights, the Beatles.
Yeah. So he got the publishing right to the Beatles and 50% of Sony's publishing. And back, I think in the 90s, Sony and Universal, Sony, Universal, and Warner. Those were the big 3. They called themselves the big 3 because it was 1, 2, and 3, and pretty much all of the collective music in the world. So I think at that time, right now, to this day, is Universal, but I believe at that time, went back in '95, Sony was the number 1. So anyway, so he owned 50% of Sony's publishing. And when he and Tommy Mottola was running Sony at that time. Now,
another nasty motherfucker married Mariah Carey when she was like 18 years 19, old. Exactly. Probably was having relations with her when she was 17, 16.
Of course. And he's Jewish too.
Grooming, yeah, I was gonna say that.
And he's Jewish. So, remember, the top 2 guys that own all the music in the world, at that point, Jewish.
Well, I give Michael Jackson credit because he outwitted him by
Sure
owning that
did.
51s.
But you saw what happened. You saw it. So Sony, when Mike started to, everything was cool back then. But when 97, 2000 came around, 2001, 2002, he's becoming a free agent now. And he's about to walk. With 2002, he's gearing up. He's like, all right, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and walk. Tommy Mottola, you the devil. You a demon. You an evil person. I'm gonna take 50% of y'all shit. And I'm gonna take.
Actually, I saw it. It says 51%. I think.
So he was the.
I don't.
Yeah. No, it was 50-50.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, it was 50-50. Because they gonna get it back eventually. You know how they gonna get it back.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was 50-50. And then so yeah, he gets it back. 01, he walks, and now here's the, but he did have his God dog. Hold on. Yeah. And so yeah, he got his 50%, and then here comes the last tour. This is it. It started. It felt kind of weird, you know, just naming a tour like This Is It and everything. And he's putting out this new album, Invincible, and the Invincible album that came out in, I believe, 01. And yeah, man, it's just like, it's one of them things where, it's like, I'm feeling like, yeah, they had Mike. They needed to get their 50% back. So what they did when Mike died, obviously, you know, we heard about the Conrad Murray stuff. He was charged for killing, for overdosing Mike with everything.
Well, manslaughter. They charged him with manslaughter.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, accidental,
involuntary
manslaughter,
manslaughter,
stuff like that. So, as soon as he died, Sony was able to get their people in control of Mike's estate that owned the other half. So
how'd they do that?
Dog, when I saw that, So what they tried to say that I saw it on a TikTok somewhere, and I meant to send it to you, and it was all documented. It wasn't just like somebody had just fucking said this shit, but it was documented, and I meant to send it to you, but I can't remember exactly how, and who it was, but that person he was basically working for Sony. Essentially, he was working for Sony. I can't remember no names, but you can look it up. He was working for Sony, and he was able to sell Sony back the other $750 million that was bought out for them, that Mike had took from them, and that's how they got recouped their stuff back. And I sit there and think about it and everything. I sit there and think about it. I'm like, man, y'all sent that man through everything, through hell. Put that man through hell and left such a smudge on his image,
his reputation
and everything. But you know, the real people, the real fans and stuff that love Mike, you might can smear all that stuff, but you can't smear the talent. You can't smear the work ethic, the drive, the vision that brother had. And there will be no other person to be able to do and accomplish what he ever had. So I don't care. Yeah, y'all can go and try and kill a brother's legacy and put all this stuff out about him, and you know, allegedly take him out and all this other stuff just to get your money back and stuff. But you'll never be able to get
his legacy.
Exactly, because of what that man did in life. Because that he was a different type of Mike. He's a GOAT for a reason.
I mean, you see people in the 90s, like people crying because of seeing, like people in China, people like when he goes to India or South America, Brazil,
all over the world.
Like
all
they
over
love
the world.
Mike.
Back in the 90s, bro, literally from 8 to 80, if you was 8 years old, you was 80 years old. Every single person in the world knew and loved Michael Jackson.
I've been to Mango's. They actually have a Michael Jackson impersonator. He performed. Yeah, he was actually pretty good. What? Yeah. You gotta tell you,
you probably ran into my pops out there, man.
Yeah.
That's his little golden spot.
Yeah.
Shout out to Pop. Happy birthday. Happy Father's Day. But yeah.
The thing is, they did a witch hunt on that doctor, and he wasn't transparent, and he was begging him for the drugs. And now, I mean, it's no excuse, but I mean, in his defense, he's just gonna get another doctor. So like, it's either you almost, I don't know what it's like to be like a private doctor. Yeah. I don't know how competitive it is, but I'm sure like the bigger the clients, the more money you make. Yeah. And being associated with Michael Jackson is a big thing, and it's at least something you could put on your resume. But
yeah, but it's one of them things, obviously, you know.
Yeah. But the dermatologist is the one that should have got charged with criminal mischief. The one that was giving him the painkillers. Yeah.
He wasn't the one that gave him the last painkillers.
Yeah. Well, that was a sleeping, that was Prothol. That was anesthesia.
You know what I meant.
Yeah.
He wasn't the doctor to give him the last medication. You know. Mike was, you know, it led up to that last point. It led up to that last point, but at the same time, he wasn't the last one to give him the last dose of anything. And that's where Conrad gets the brink of it.
Yeah.
I want to call him a murderer. Oh, you killed Michael Jackson. No. It just so happened that was the straw. The last dosage was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
You know, the last dose was what it was. Conrad Murray had just got put on to Michael Jackson back in 2009. So it wasn't, like you said, the doctor before him.
He met his
was
wife
working-
there. He met his wife there.
Yeah.
And you saw in the interview, she would not talk about Michael Jackson because she signed the paperwork. So that's still effective today. She's not allowed to talk about the pregnancy. She's not allowed to talk about any of the details.
No.
And she knows damn sure that those aren't, like, biologically are his kids.
Those ain't his kids.
Yeah.
We all know that.
Yeah?
Like, we know that. But that man's still black. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. His sperm is still black.
Yeah.
His sperm is
I don't
still
care how many lace fronts,
and you know,
haired wigs.
I've seen mixed kids.
Yeah,
I've seen mixed
course.
kids with straight hair before.
Of course.
Yeah, but you could still kind of see it. You could still see
got
it.
some Negro tendency. You got some Negro, you know, like this would be a little something. You know, the
I mean,
nose,
look at Tiger
the lips.
Woods' kid. He's got straight hair. But you
but
can tell
also-
he's like
they
he
look
looks
like Negro babies.
Asian black. But yeah.
Exactly. You know that black is strong.
Yeah.
That black shows. Not in them kids.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, it's all
Pretty
good.
sure they can't drop the N-word. I'm pretty sure they can't drop that word in public. No matter how many black people raised them, they can't just be sitting there dropping that word.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, they ain't gonna be hanging out at the cookout
You know what I'm saying?
and casually just dropping that one. You know. Nah. Yeah, Paris. I'm sorry, Paris. You Apple. I think don't he got one Apple and blanket. Yeah.
Yeah.
Paris, Apple, and blanket. Like, nope. Y'all not dropping them.
Well, Lionel Richie, right?
He got what? You talking about Nicole?
Yeah. Well, she's adopted. She's actually full Mexican. She was adopted.
She's Mexican? I knew she was adopted.
She's Mexican.
I knew there was something.
But his
different.
biological daughter is half black, half white.
Yeah, I know.
But she kind of looks more Caucasian than black. But you could you could see it.
Yeah,
dog.
she got
a little
black
thickness to her. She got a little thickness to her. So yeah,
ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
And she got
like
some
it.
black features.
Yeah.
But you know what? It makes sense now about Nicole Richie. Because I always used to look at her, I'm like, she ain't no regular white girl.
Nah, she's like Mexican.
And I'm like, this white girl is different. Even though she was hanging out with
Paris,
Paris and stuff like that.
Smelling
and trying to be looking like her,
that
blue
yayo,
eyes and
sniffing
stuff,
that yayo.
blonde hair. I'm like, nah, sis, you ain't fooling nobody. We can see through them blonde hair and them blue eyes and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Well, there's a lot of like Latinos and that are very like fair skinned. And they have like a lot of like European, like, you know, Canelo Alvarez, he's got red hair, but, you know, when I lived in Tucson, that was actually one of the best Mexican restaurants. There's actually, Canelo means red in Spanish, and, you know, that's why his nickname is because he's got red hair. Canelo Alvarez, yeah. You didn't know Canelo Alvarez had red hair?
I mean, I just thought that was his name. I knew he had red hair, but I didn't know Canelo was. Like what, red? You said red? No, it ain't red. Rojo's red.
No.
Rojo is red, right? Or am I could be
I could be tripping too.
Yeah.
I thought that was what the restaurant is, but I do remember him having red hair.
Yeah, he got like the little orange hair and shit like that.
Yeah.
So, got a little ginger thing, I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
I mean, it's just unfortunate, like the amount of drugs he was on. I mean, I saw something on that documentary that he had so much scar tissue that they couldn't even give him a shot in his what I just say, butt cheeks, and it bent the needle.
Damn, I know, man. When they
That's
said that,
crazy.
Yeah, when they said that's
Those are like people that are like heroin addicts, and you can see that they just got track marks all over.
That little,
Which is surprising about like some heroin addicts is that I was actually in one's house, and it was so fucking clean. Like they just get high and it was just like I knew. It was just like I just randomly met my neighbor from Charlotte. We were talking. And then I already knew what time it was. I saw something, and then when I saw his arms, I was like, oh my God, he's fucking shooting up. That's disgusting. Right. And I was like, man, I smoke tree. I don't do that shit. Yeah. I was like, this is where we
draw the line.
Yeah,
right here,
yeah,
sir.
Exactly. This is when we
yeah, I'm not going to be
go our separate ways.
In this portion of your highness.
Some people like to clean, I guess. But
clean?
Yeah, clean.
After they get high?
Yeah. And I'm talking about like with a toothbrush. Yeah, yeah.
What the fuck? Oh, that's some crazy shit, man. You need to get some olive stuff. I got some jokes brewing right now.
Yeah. But I mean, there's all different forms of addictions. There's all types that, he was addicted to plastic surgery. I think he's
addicted to greatness too.
Yeah, but I think his sense of reality was gone.
Had an addictive personality. You can
and
see that.
I think since he never had a childhood, that's why he liked hanging out with kids. Mm-hmm. And it's just like damn, Mike, you're 30 years old. You can't be fucking having sleepovers with kids.
Like he literally bought a compound and nicknamed it Neverland Ranch.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Like that's how you know, like the brother, he just want to be a big ass kid. He didn't have that shit. He was touring at 7 fucking years old.
Maybe younger.
Touring.
Yeah. He was actually performing in strip clubs.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. His dad, they were performing.
Exactly. Michael's out here like in bars and strip clubs and all kinds of stuff. He
never had a childhood. Or a normal childhood.
Fuck yeah. They sitting there going to school and then at night they going to damn strip clubs.
So I think he just never really developed.
Performing ABC and shit.
He never developed, like, maturity-wise. But he's still good.
And it's like that mindset, like, you know how back in the day we couldn't afford something? We couldn't afford these, man, I wanted these shoes. I wanted these J's, man. But when I got older, I went and got them, or I wanted these shoes when I was young. I wanted these shoes and I couldn't get it. But when I got older, I said I went and got what I wanted. That's like me and Legos. Back in the day, I couldn't afford some of them damn Legos and shit. Now look at me. You know what I mean? So it's like that's what he wanted. He couldn't afford a childhood. So when he got older, he wanted a childhood. Did
you see that one interview? I think it was on Fox, and it was a British Indian dude interviewing him, and he went on like a shopping spree, bro. And he spent like $1 million just like on furniture, and they shut the whole store down, but he was just buying like big chess pieces or statues, and it just that was another thing. He loved to spend money. He could spend some money now,
because they did say
he was going bankrupt.
He had a debt.
That's why he had to go back on tour.
He was 300. He was I think it was 330 million in debt, but they also said he had a net worth of 250 million, and then he had 500 million in assets, plus the deal, plus the half of the Sony
That's rich
deal.
People debt. That's not.
Yeah.
That's
and
nothing
then
we can relate.
300 million in
my version of my reality of debt is when you're eating ramen noodles.
Yeah, that's what I said too, man.
Peanut butter.
I'm like, motherfucker, I'll take that debt any day. I was like, shit, let me get some of that debt.
I had a grilled cheese sandwich for dinner today, but that was by choice. That wasn't because,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let me get some of that.
Yeah.
I'll take some of that.
I just wanted soup. I just wanted something light today.
I'm like, I'll take that.
Can we talk about another great in music that has a tarnished legacy?
Go ahead.
RKelly.
Oh man, I heard about RKelly.
See, that's what kind of. Let's go back.
I kind of
just
heard about
episode
R. Kelly.
17, take 1. that's what really started the vibes that kind of like messed up the vibes before we filmed the episode where we were just talking about like, damn, if R. Kelly didn't do all that stuff with the underage girls, he would be a music legend.
No, it's not just underage girls. It was underage kids. There was boys too.
Boys?
Yeah, there was.
R. Kelly was? Mm-hmm. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, that one later came out. That matter of fact, that came out. That came out in the later trial a couple of years ago.
And I think one of R. Kelly's siblings said he was molested as a kid, which doesn't even just And unfortunately, that does happen where the victim re-victimized somebody down, and it's
apparently that happens way too much.
Yeah, it's a circle that just keeps turning, unfortunately. But
yeah, we ain't gonna dig deeper into that part, but yeah.
But very talented. You could almost say he was just as talented as Mike, you know, with his music.
Listen, R. Kelly. I don't mess with R. Kelly. I don't fool with R. Kelly no more. I've stopped listening to all his music. But there is a point when every once in a while, it'll sneak up on somewhere. Something will come on somewhere with some R. Kelly in it, and I'm just like, damn.
Great voice.
This brother can sing. You can't.
And write music.
That brother wrote.
And he doesn't even know how to read and write. He couldn't even read.
And produce too. So he was producing tracks too. So he literally was making all of them. Yeah, R. Kelly was a GOAT too.
Yeah.
Like he really was a GOAT.
Yeah.
And if some people want to play that whole, well, I'll just separate the music from the man. I'm not doing that. Motherfucker, you still writing about 14-year-old girls in them damn songs. That's how I'm listening to it. But if some people want to do that.
He married Aaliyah when she was 16.
No, 15.
15,
she was 15.
But it's like, worse.
Yeah. Like, nasty fuck. Hell no.
Yeah. And got her pregnant too.
Yeah.
And she had an abortion.
Nasty fuck. But if some people want to go ahead and take the whole, well, I'll just separate the whatchamacallit from the man. He's right there with Mike. Yeah. He's right there with one of the GOATs. And I put Mike at the very top. He's Mount Everest. But I can easily hear somebody putting R. Kelly right below him.
Even when he had his first court appearance, like in the early 2000s,
which
you remember, like how people were just openly selling that on the streets.
Yep.
And like if you did that nowadays, you'd be charged with child porn.
Oh my God.
You'd be in possession of child porn, and you would be a sex offender.
Dog.
Just for having the video in your hand.
I was living in New York. I was living in New Jersey.
I saw the video.
We did, of course. Like, but you know, at that time, this is in 01.
I was even shocked. Oddly enough, I was 14 when I saw the video. I was like shocked when I saw the video. I was like, damn, she's 14? I was like,
I don't remember it too much. I do know it's because they had a glove, they had the cover and everything and all that other stuff on the VHS and everything.
The bootleggers back in the day were making money back in the day.
They dressed that thing up. I think they had him just like probably on one of his old.
So you were in New Jersey when that stuff happened.
Yeah, I was in New Jersey because this happened in 01.
So they were selling that stuff on the
block. They were selling that shit down on whatchamacallit?
Selling child porn.
Lined up, 20, 30, 40 copies. Everybody looking like, oh, let me get that.
And that was at the same time when they were like, let me get the Kim Kardashian one too. At the same time, but but it was kind of crazy how he bounced back from that because then he had that one song.
Because he got off that one on the technicality.
Yeah. Well, the victim never showed up to court.
And also
which he probably paid.
Exactly. And also,
or or sometimes the victim's in love with the predator.
Kelly's lawyer was also allegedly able to get they tried to say that was his brother. So, and there was like this big thing about, he had a mole on his body or something like that. And it was like, well, R. Kelly doesn't have this mole on his body, so it's not him. You know. So yeah, they tried to play that too. So he got off on technicality, but then he kept still doing the shit.
Yeah. And then he just said,
he kept doing the shit.
I just do the 18 and 19.
Yeah. This time he was like, oh yeah.
And that's when he was like,
I'm gonna just do
basically
17 and 18. I'm not gonna
getting
go down
those
to 14.
girls. I mean, I didn't watch those documentaries, but from what I saw from the outside, I guess those girls weren't like chained to the room, but they were basically like brainwashed. It was like almost like a sex cult, basically.
But they was all underage to start with.
Kind of, Neo's doing the same thing, but he's doing it.
Who?
Neo.
Oh yeah.
He's
but at least his is grown women.
Yeah, it's grown women, and they all know what's up.
His is grown women. They all know
women,
what's up. Y'all signed up for that shit.
Yeah.
R. Kelly's women, they was 16, 17 when they all started with him.
So he groomed them.
Yeah.
And then he basically said, well, you're 18, you can just live with me, I'll take care of you.
I don't think none of them was like 15 or nothing, but I think the youngest one at the time was 16, and I think the other girl, I think she was 17 when she started messing with him. And I think there was one more, I think they was both 17. One was 17, no, it was three girls. One was 17, I think one was 18, and the other one was 16 when they started messing with him.
What was that one song after that first court case that really got him back in the swing of the Closet?
No, it wasn't Trapped in the Closet. That came out a couple years after when he got out.
Oh, Dancing.
But no, because he tried to switch
Stepping in the Name of Love.
There you go. He put that Chocolate Factory out. It was Step in the Name of Love. So he wasn't singing about no freaky shit.
Gary Owens has a funny joke about that
He stopped all
song.
the freaky shit.
Yeah. Gary Owens has that funny song. He was like, damn, you just forget because that song's just so good. You start stepping.
Yep. But like I said, he stopped all the freaky shit for a whole minute. He put out Step in the Name of Love. Then he put out, like you said, Trapped in the Closet.
It was like 8 chapters.
No, sir. There was 8 chapters on the radio. There was 34 of them bitches.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it spanned for like a good 2 or 3 years.
He's a musical genius.
No, I was just about to say,
he's a musical genius.
That's a fucking genius move, how he did that Trapped in the Closet. There was 34
and doesn't even know how to read.
There was 34 episodes of Trapped in the Closet, and they was...
Actually, I do remember like something like it was like a movie amazing. Where you could buy the DVD. Yeah. So that's probably where the 34. Okay. Damn, he did 34. Woof.
Dog.
And that thing was popular.
Oh,
and this is before.
Hell yeah.
This was before social media. That was without social media.
Trapped in the Closet, when the first episode came on, I remember being in Atlanta.
Everybody talked about it.
And I remember being in Atlanta and V103 played that for the first time. And he's walking into the closet. I pulled out my gun. I cocked the Beretta. And this motherfucker just stopped it right there. I was like, what happened? I need to know. You'll hear it next week on the V103. What? Dog. I pulled out the Beretta.
Yeah.
He come into the closet.
Damn, man, another collaboration I like he did with the song was with the Isley Brothers.
Oh, yeah, I can't listen to that one no more.
That was a good song.
My God.
Yeah, it was a good song.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, that one is going to be a hard temptation for me to resist.
Man.
If I ever hear that one again, I haven't heard it in a long time,
it's
but
just wild,
that's one of the ones that's going to be a hard temptation
I was just like,
to resist.
Dude, R. Kelly, like, I wish, like...
Because that dynamic between them three is epic. Between Mr. Biz, before you're done, boy, you know my name, son.
That's the song
I was gonna tell you. Ooh, this cat look real familiar.
That was good. That was actually really good.
I know, man. Yeah. I know that part, line for line, that's my favorite part of the whole song. And I know
I like that song.
Dog, man. I'm telling you, man, R. Kelly, he's a fucking nasty fuck. Nasty, talented fuck. And I'm just mad he
just couldn't help himself.
Dog.
Yeah, you had all the money in the world, man. You didn't need to do any of this stuff. like, oh, remember the BET interview? Remember when the light-skinned dude with the little fro? He said, when you say girls, he said, when you say girls, what do you mean girls? Like 18, no, we're talking about 17, 16. He's like, no.
Oh, yeah, he's like, no. They're 19. He said, I'll make sure they're all 19. I think I remember him saying
he called him out. He called him out and just said that.
Bro, like, that.
It's a conflict. It's a conflict.
Why? I just never understood even. I mean, now they get into like a bigger picture. Like, what is the point of even an older man like that really looking at younger girls 19, 18 years old? What the fuck do you want from an 18,
I actually talked to my brother about this theory. And my theory is a lot of rich, powerful men, and it's a primal thing too. So I'm gonna talk about the primal aspect, and I'm gonna talk about like the notoriety, the power, and I think the common denominator is low body count. Because if you meet a chick that's 28, let's be honest, or like, yeah, I think they want to be like the closest thing to taking their virginity. They want to be like the third guy. They don't want to be the ninth guy. They don't want to be the 11th guy. And then the primal thing is,
I don't want nobody that don't know.
And the primal aspect is that the younger the woman is, the most fertile that they will be. Like in
What?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, like 19, 20 is probably like the best time to have a kid, like physically for a woman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But ain't no old man trying to have no kid with no woman? With no 18, 19-year-old?
I mean,
RKelly wasn't trying to have no kids with no 18, 19-year-old with them women.
And
So
I
you
do
scratch that.
remember when that documentary came out. I never watched it actually, but
I know.
I do remember like little clips where like R. Kelly's like dressing like he's like 19 years old with his girlfriends with a book bag, like he's like, and you're like 55 years old, and yeah, he did have some odd behaviors in that aspect too.
So like, and not saying like your primal topic take was whatchamacallit, but I just know none of these 55, 60-year-old men want to have kids, or probably can have kids with no 18, 19, 20-year-old woman.
Look at Bill Belichick, boss.
Listen, I said probably. I didn't say cannot. I said more than likely can't. Cause yeah, you got Bill Belichick, you got
look at Robert De Niro.
They all knocking up some 20 plus year olds and stuff. Hey,
in their 80s.
Yeah, you know, they in their 70s and 80s. You know. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna be.
And I heard something about Bill Belichick through. And there's a rumor is that he's not all there mentally, and she's like psychologically controlling him, and now he's caught because he's having a kid with her.
Wow. I mean.
Yeah, Miss Maine.
Oh yeah. yeah, I know. But yeah, no, man. So that's why I'm like, man.
They actually told her that she's not allowed to talk in the meetings in North Carolina, like football meetings, because apparently she was like, "Oh, Bill Belichick." Like, girl, you're not even the coach. You don't know anything about football. Just shut up.
Yeah, just go.
We know you're using him for money.
Feed the baby.
Yeah.
at that point. But yeah, nah, man. So I'm part of that train. I don't. What's the point? There ain't nothing that I want from a 18, 19, 20-year-old. I don't care. I don't know. I need, for one, and like you saying, they virgins and don't, I don't want nobody that don't know what the fuck they don't know what the fuck they doing. Right. I need somebody, you gotta be able to do some stuff. Don't sit there like a dead fish now.
Or like a coffin.
Or don't know what the fuck you doing. Like, give me a little something. You ain't gotta be like a pro as back with that back in the day they would call a pro. You ain't gotta be all that. But I don't want nobody that don't know what the fuck they doing. You just laying there like a dead fish or something like that.
It's just odd, and I don't get it either.
It's just weird. I just never understood that.
Someone's diabolical because they say kids are angels.
Yeah, man, you're just taking advantage of
You know, every kid, when they're a baby, that's someone's son, that's someone's daughter, and you're taking away you're stealing that to fulfill your
fantasy,
your demon fantasies, you're diabolical, and it's a sociopath because
it's fucking
disgusting. I mean, just like all those cats that got caught on How to Catch a Predator, and I was like, dude, you're so fucking dumb.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder, like, damn, is this really your first time showing up at a kid's house?
Fuck no, it ain't.
Exactly.
This is first time getting caught.
Yeah. So
this is first time getting caught. He's definitely been out there.
that show went down because I think one of the
dude
some
got
lawyer or
stabbed.
doctor like ended up shooting his head. He shot himself in the head.
Yeah, matter of fact, no, he was a bigwig. He was like a senator or a DA or something like that.
Yeah.
Somewhere over in California. He was one of them type of, or was it Texas? I think it was California or Texas. And he was like one of them big, senator, governor type, DA
dude,
type deal.
The dude that fucking stabbed Tory Lanez was a child molester. He fucking killed his girlfriend that was 15 years old, and I think he was like 23 or something like that. Nasty motherfucker, bro. But it's just nasty, man.
Yeah, that's
and even the 19. I say even 21 is nasty.
Dog,
yeah.
like I said, man. Like I said earlier, I was 28 when I met this 21-year-old girl.
So,
and I still felt.
I'm talking pure hypothetics. Mm-hmm. If you were single right now, like what would be the youngest you go? For me, it'd be 25.
Shit. Which obviously it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
But if I was single right now, to be honest, shit, probably older, my age.
Yeah. You go 40?
Yeah, maybe.
You get a nice little Nia Young at 50.
Probably, not no 50, not no 50.
Well, she was pretty though.
Hey, listen.
The juices are still going.
Listen.
When does menopause happen?
I think for
late 40s.
I think so. I think it's around that time.
But they can still get wet though, right?
I don't fucking know. I ain't never been with a chick on menopause. I have no idea. So maybe I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, if I was single or something like that, then yeah, I'd probably do my age or something like that.
You wouldn't go 25?
No. Hell no.
No 20s, like 26, 27, 28, 29? Mm-mm. Just 30 and up?
Yeah, because we need to know how to build. We got to build together.
Nice.
Yeah. My mindset is different than when I met Nia.
And also in relationships, you need to realize there's a difference between chemistry and lust.
Yes.
There's a big difference. Just because you're attracted to somebody doesn't mean it's gonna work.
Yeah.
Just because you guys are both like on each other like rabbits, doesn't mean that it's gonna be a functioning relationship.
Lust and y'all just horny little devils for each other and stuff like that.
Like some chihuahuas going at it.
Yeah. Y'all just always want to do all that, but when shit hits the fan, that's when.
I had a girl chihuahua. She would hump the pillows. She was like that, and I'd just be like messing with her. Her name was Fiona. I thought, yo, toot that thing, girl.
Oh, I remember Fiona.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you've been to my We were.
As soon as you said Fiona, I was like, oh, I didn't know Fiona.
You saw all three of those dogs. Yeah, Fernando, Frida.
I didn't know the other two. I know Fiona.
Yeah, she was crazy.
They all started with F's.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, that was definitely
Frida was the original.
That was definitely your ex's idea, wasn't it?
Nah, Frida was mine idea.
Oh.
Frida and Fernando was my idea, and then Fiona was her idea.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. When the whole breakup happened, I was like, damn, these dogs don't even like me. They love her, so I didn't want to separate them. So she got the dogs. But I got to save a dog. I got to save a dog. Yeah.
And the dog, she wanted on. But yeah, that goes back to just like that. You see the chemistry and the whatchamacallit, because if not, if there ain't no love there, she gonna take the dogs.
Yeah, right.
My boy Austino knows about that.
My dogs.
Took his
I still
dogs.
miss those dogs.
Still to this day. But so yeah, nah, man, don't be thinking.
My whole thing with
on,
that situation was I wanted us to raise dogs together and then have kids, but it didn't work out like that. But it is
good thing it didn't.
Yeah, but that's life.
You dodged that bullet. Now we're gonna get you. We're gonna get you right.
Yeah. So, let's kind of talk about the future episodes. We're not gonna film next week, so I am gonna come back that weekend after.
So next week we'll be off too. We'll have a little break.
I'm taking 7 days off work. I start my vacation this Thursday, but I'm trying to hit the road on the 18th, and I'm at least trying to get to Georgia. It's 12 hours to go to Virginia, man. And I was like, dude, I am not looking forward to that drive. So I'm at least trying to make some ground. So
I mean,
it takes like 5 hours to get out of Florida from here, right? Probably 4
from here to
Orlando.
I mean, you would probably take 4 to 95. That would be the easiest.
Yeah, but like, how long of a drive to get to the Georgia border from here?
Georgia border about 3.5.
Okay.
If you go straight up 75, it's like 3 and some change. Straight up 75.
So
if you was to go up like 4 to 95 and just ride up, I guess, because that's where it would probably take you straight to your pit.
Daytona is the...
Then it's probably like 4.5 to get into Georgia.
Well, Jacksonville is on the Georgia border. Jacksonville is on the Georgia border.
Yeah, so it'll probably be about 4.
So I'm at least trying to get some Georgia. I'm at least trying to get to Georgia on Wednesday. So if I can get off work at 4, I'm gonna have my bag packed, ready to go, and be like, let's go, Phantom. And set the other animals up and let one of my friends, feed the fish and lizard and stuff. So yeah. I gotta make this chess move, Ron.
Get your head right before you move that.
Yeah, well, yeah, and
get your head right before you move the piece.
I'm ready. I mean, you've worked in Tampa. It's a different market than Orlando. Mm-hmm. So
it definitely was.
Yeah.
You did feel the difference in those two areas.
So we're gonna have a lot to talk about in the next 3 weeks about changes and decisions and stuff. So
so it's gonna be a lot in the next couple of weeks. Well, not next week, but week after that. So we're gonna be back.
But
so we'll be back.
Yeah. Then we had an interesting episode. I didn't think we were gonna talk about Michael Jackson and RKelly. And
oh man, did you? Speaking of just go back real quick. But now he's saying that. He's saying that his life is threatened, so now he wants to be getting.
Yeah, dude, you're a fucking sex predator, bro.
Yeah, and that's what I said.
What do you expect?
I said the same thing. I was like, bro, you touching little kids, bro.
What, you think that shit's cool?
What you think that? Yeah, like it's proven.
It's not like they got a pedophile prison.
Yeah,
it's everybody's there.
Everybody's there, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like
you got stabbers, you got gang members,
real.
You got people that
really
about
I saw that
really don't have anything to lose. If they stab you, they don't care. They're already doing life.
I saw that headline pop up on my feed to a couple of back maybe a few hours ago, like before we even got left work.
Did you see that episode? That clip of him singing in front of all the prisoners? Still had the good voice, bro.
For real?
Yes, dog. He was singing in front of all the prisoners. And I was just like, damn, man, just a waste of talent, bro. He's the definition of a wasted talent, man. Yeah, with a God's gift and just naturally gifted. You think he was born in that, or he just practiced singing? Do you think?
I think he
a little bit of both.
That's God's gift.
What?
Yeah. I think that's really God's gift, especially to be able to write the way he can write. That yeah, obviously you got to learn
another good song. I Believe I Can Fly. I mean, He just put out bangers after bangers. 90s, early 2000s. I guess his last good song that I remember was The Cookie Monster.
I was off of one of them, like, I forget what CDs that is, but yeah.
But
I can't listen to none of them sexy songs. I only if
Ignition?
Nah, I can't listen to none of it because he try to dress it up. I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing.
What?
If there's some Step in the Name of Love type deal, that might be the only thing I can give R. Kelly a listen to nowadays. And then, stick your key in the ignition. Nah. I know what you're doing.
He actually had another good song.
Mama rolling that about nah.
Remember You Saved Me?
Yeah.
That was a good song.
Yeah, but I can't take none of that serious.
Yeah.
I can't take none of that serious. At least Step in the Name of Love, that's just a dance song. Everybody, we can dance to that. We can get down and forget that this motherfucker is a nasty fuck. Yeah, all this whole you saved me. Nah, motherfucker, you went back to the other chicks right after that, allegedly. Well, not even allegedly. You went right back to him.
He should be having his own record label.
Agreed.
And he should be living as many legal age wives as he wants, but he just kept wanting to play with the devil.
Fucking play at school playgrounds and shit.
Yeah.
Over there hunting at school playgrounds and shit.
Showing up at proms.
High schools and shit.
Going to proms at 50 years old.
Going to the McDonald's after schools and shit. What the fuck? Man, if you don't go on somewhere, man, get your old ass out of this, man. It is 3:45. You know these kids is going to the McDonald's around the corner from their school, man. Get the fuck
He's also
on.
a talented athlete too. He played like minor league like G League in the 90s, like a former professional basketball.
Yeah, man.
Damn.
Yeah, man. So yeah, fuck R. Kelly. And whatever happens, it is what it is, you know. But that's our episode for today. We gonna dip on out.
Yeah.
Faustino.
Yes, sir.
We did it again. 17, take two. No.